Hello Raptors, my name's Paul Mills from Raptorium Core, and this is Hunter Schultz, who is the head of production for Raptorium, and we are back for another Raptor Chain reaction video. Is that right? We're doing Raptor Chain reaction?
That is exactly right. Welcome back from Singapore.
It's
You
good to be
survived the
back.
hotel room.
It's good to be back, man. Yeah, survived the hotel room with Baguette. It was quite the
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, we missed you guys. We missed you guys.
Yeah,
And you know what? Here we are, Mills and Schultz sniffing blockchains, so you don't have to.
yeah,
Too
absolutely.
much, you know. Um, we assets have been released. We're coming on a month now, and one of the conversations that we had, I thought it'd be a really good idea to talk about why master assets are so important to get done. If you're a brand, if you're a celebrity, whatever, why are Raptorium assets different from everyone else? And that's why it's so important to do it early. And I equate it to the domain names back in the 90s, because I remember that whole thing. Why it was important to get a good domain name. So,
Yeah,
why
so
Raptorium assets?
why are Raptorium assets different than other assets out there on other blockchains? Well, with Raptorium assets, you can layer them, and when I say that, I mean you have something called master assets, and you can have sub assets underneath them. Now, with master assets, the naming is unique, meaning that once a name is taken, then it cannot be populated again on the network. Why is it important to get these things done very quickly? Because for the simple reason that these names are being taken all the time, every day, by users of the network. So if you are a company and you wish to integrate into blockchain in the future, I would highly recommend that you would secure your master asset names on the Raptorium blockchain for when you choose to integrate into a blockchain environment. Now, if you don't do this, um, you could use the sub asset system for your brand, but obviously a master asset is a more powerful asset because it is a master asset. It's in the name, and that's what people will look at first. So yes, you should secure your master assets as early as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul, one of the things that we need to cover is why Raptorium assets, master assets, why it's so important to get this particular job done.
Okay, so the difference between Raptorium assets compared to other blockchains out there is Raptorium assets are all on the protocol layer. They're all directly on the blockchain, whereas other blockchains do it on a separate layer using a smart contract. And this matters because the assets are backed by the encryption of the chain, whereas on other token chains, they are backed by the strength of the smart contract. But that's a big problem because those smart contracts are created by third parties. And so basically you are putting your trust into a third party and its code in providing the security for that token. And as a result of this, other blockchains see many hacks and exploits and wallet hijacks because of these risky smart contracts. And you don't get that with Raptorium because, again, it's all on the actual blockchain itself without the need for smart contracts to create or transact these assets. And that provides a much more secure environment for doing any of this. And that's why you should create your master assets now, because we are building something a lot more different than what you see out there. We can inherently save people millions of dollars in lost funds and things like that by having them use a much more safer chain to do the similar things that they've been doing on other blockchains.
So as blockchain grows and use cases grow, Raptorium, it's easier for Raptorium to grow with it, or even drive the evolution of blockchain.
Yeah,
which we seem to be doing anyway.
And as as blockchain grows, there's always a question around blockchains, and that's transaction throughput. How many transactions per second they can process. And just over the last few days, Ethereum has seen an extreme amount of transactions being pushed through the network, and again the gas fees have reached a stupid amount, just like they've done many times in the past and tried to rectify by restructuring the way that the network is deployed, and it's causing many issues on various swap platforms as well, whose bread and butter is from the users using the platform in a very cost-effective way. And when that cost-effective way is taken away from them, less people are inclined to transact on these third-party swap platforms and look for other alternatives.
In breaking news, there was an EVM hack, case of praise, in Singapore while you were there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At the biggest crypto conference in the world, somebody got hacked, and it's an EVM change. I mean, if you want to know how funny, well, it's not funny for the people it happened to, but don't say we did not warn you, because we did it in our California DMV episode, which we'll link in the description.
Absolutely.
What happened in Singapore, Paul?
Okay, so there was an exchange that was, showcasing at Singapore. They had a booth and various things like that. And during the event, they actually got their EVM chains hacked. So that was Ethereum based and BSC based, which is obviously the Binance clone of Ethereum. And yes, again, risky smart contracts exploited. I think it was, 200 million or something like that, which is completely ridiculous. And it just shows you, as we keep mentioning time and time again, and as we keep warning you time and time again, these things are happening on those chains. And this is, one of the main reasons why we're building the project that we're building. Because if you are a company or a celebrity and you are putting your money on the line, then you're going to need to use something that you can trust. And with these constant news reports coming out about the vulnerabilities of EVM and BSC and all these other token chains, you would be stupid to put your money on the line on those. What I will say is they do have the footfall of the people that use it, but as more and more people get exploited and get hacked, we are starting to see people looking for an alternative, something that they can trust, something that has speed, something that can scale. And this is where we hope to be fitting in. When I'm talking about scalability as well, we're actually developing something called transaction decoupling. And when the network gets very busy with all the different assets being sent and received, they would actually work on side chains. So the main chain is kept free. The asset transactions and other transactions on the network are actually working on side chains, which are backed by the distributed node system that we've deployed over the last couple of years. I think we've got roughly 1,400 nodes or something like that at the moment, which is pretty awesome, dotted all around the world to help process these transactions. So we are beginning to get to the point where we're going to be utilizing that aspect of the network in a positive way to grow and to scale and to compete with the with some of the high TPS points of these other token chains which are getting exploited. So once we're at that stage, we can not only compete in terms of speed, but we can trump them on security.
Okay, so if you're a company, you're a brand, a celebrity, what you should do for now, send us an email at info@raptorium.com. We'll put a link in the description too. Send us an email and tell us of your interest, and we will get back to you and tell you how we can help you do this. And from there, Paul,
Yeah.
anything else?
Register your master assets now. Do it.
Do it now. Do it right now before midnight tonight. Anything else? Anything else?
Anything else? Don't share a hotel room with the baguette nibbler. It's not recommended.
Words of wisdom and experience.
Keep David Owen Morris away from the dumpling restaurants. That's another thing. And don't have a 3-hour massage at a Vietnamese massage parlor in Singapore. There's nothing else. No other advice.
You just teed that one up, man. I'm not going to go there, but you teed a good one up. Not going to go there. Paul, thanks. That was great. And there you are.
And there we are. Big thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Raptor Chain Reaction. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please follow us at this YouTube channel. Click the little like at the bottom and the little bell to be kept up to date with any more Raptorium videos, Raptor Chain Reaction videos, billionaire ideas or whatever it was, and also CryptoSmith videos as well. Follow us at Raptorium at Twitter or X, at Instagram, at Threads, and we're also on TikTok at Official Raptorium also. And yeah, have a nice day, have a nice night, and we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.